All right. Well, it is 7 o'clock. And hello, Miss Linda. How are you? And look at you. There's little Tasha. How are you? It's good to see everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started this evening. I do believe in being on time.
I know.
Yes, ma'am. Hi, good evening, Sister Terry. Glad you can make us. We're getting ready to get started. I'm making sure that I am highlighting everyone who is
Good
attending.
evening.
Good evening, attending live because you guys are going to get some extra things that other people will not. Good evening, Apostle Lyria. That so let's see, in case I forget, I'm gonna go ahead. I think I said that in the email what they were, but you're gonna get prayers. These are in, you'll have them in your email um after tonight is over. You'll get prayers for writing your journey. You're gonna get a book outline, and there are a couple of other things. So you're gonna get some decrees for authors. All of these things will be emailed to you after this is over. Good evening, Miss Rayana. Okay. All right. So, and just in case, I'm just going to tell you up front, I've highlighted your names to make sure that I email you specifically, but just in case you don't get this email, I have no problem. Email me and let me know that you didn't get it. Okay. All right. So I want to make sure that you guys get those extra things. So I'm going to go ahead and start the recording. And oh, okay, you got a new puppy. Well, honey, that's like a new baby. Oh, my God. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Well, okay. First of all, thank every single one of you for deciding to invest in yourself. I take it that by signing up for this I Write webinar, that you are writing a book, you're starting a book, you're thinking about it. You may have gotten stuck while you were writing it, don't know what you're doing, whatever the case may be. I am glad that you have decided to invest in yourself this evening. Most all of you, I understand and know you are always making sure everybody else is good and doing something for everybody else, and never um, spending that amount of energy on yourself. So, Holy Spirit pressed upon me to offer this webinar to those because I've been exactly where you are. I know how it feels to know that you got something to do, and you feel overwhelmed by the process, overwhelmed about all the possibilities of things that are out there. And so I believe in making things working smarter and not harder in this season. So I want to make sure that I give you some of these tips and some of these strategies that I believe is going to assist you on your journey. So first of all, and if there's a worksheet too, you'll get. So if you don't, if you're not in a place where you can write any notes, that's fine. You'll get the Zoom replay as well. Okay, so don't worry about it. You can go back and listen to it. And that worksheet will also be in the email with the other bonuses. So, first of all, when you are deciding to, or you know that you're supposed to write, you need to clarify your vision. You need to define your book audience and your purpose. Before you write a word, you need to understand who you're writing to, and who you're writing for. This is what's going to give your book clarity, direction, and then you'll know what your impact is supposed to be. So you'll want to ask yourself some purpose questions like what is the goal of this book? Am I writing to inspire? Am I writing to teach? Am I writing to entertain? Am I writing a book that will cause healing to come? And what do you want to leave your reader? What kind of experience do you want your reader to have when they read your book? One, you got to know who your audience is. You may be writing something, for instance, say for new mothers. You may be writing a book for midwives. You may be writing a book of inspiration for. I mean, there's just a total gamut of, all of those things. But you'll want to know who your audience is, and what tone, language you're going to do to use it. So that's the first thing. Define your book audience. So clarify your vision. What are you writing? Your next thing is you're going to organize your ideas. A lot of times people get stuck. They may know what the title of their book is. They may know what they want their book to be about and may have a general idea, may have even started writing. But somewhere along the line, after they started writing, they kind of fall off because they haven't organized their ideas, or organized what they're doing. So an outline is going to assist you in making sure that you have a smooth writing process. So once you get a well-developed outline, if some part or some reason you may feel distracted, and we'll talk about next about spending time, but get distracted or whatever the case may be, you can always go back to this outline, and that will help you not to be to get unstuck. I oftentimes tell people if you've got a really good outline, you may feel inspired on a particular day to jump in the middle. You may be working on the middle of your book. Just remember, it's all going to come together. All of these pieces are going to come together. So you want a well-developed outline. So writing without a plan leads to messy drafts, and leads to writer's block. Now, I do know that there are people who it's called the Pantser method, Pantser, and that literally means means what it sounds like. They're writing by the seat of their pants. It's called the Pantser method. They don't have an organized outline. They're just flowing with it, and that's fine if that's how you operate. However, the outline is going to help you in making sure that you're not stuck. And if there is a time in a season where you feel like you're at a point of a pause, you can always go back to this outline, and that's going to help reacclimate you or organize you. Okay. First of all, let me go back to this scripture. Proverbs 16:3. Commit your ways to the Lord. Okay. And he will establish you. He will establish your plans. So now I am a believer. So whoever I'm assisting, or whatever projects I'm working on, you're going to get the whole me. You're going to get the praying, prophesying me over your work. And that's what I believe in doing, because all of your words are valuable. Your words have an audience. Your words may not be for everyone, but it is absolutely for someone, because God would not have given you the assignment to write A, B, C, or D if there was not someone who did not need what you have. Okay, so let's pause right there for a moment. If and dismiss the misnomer that nobody wants to hear about this, nobody wants to hear about that. No, everybody may not care. But if you are writing and one person receives the revelation or the inspiration from reading your work, then your assignment, I feel, this is how I think personally, your assignment is done. I'm not looking necessarily for the masses. Now, that's great and wonderful. I'm not being dismissive of that, because, of course, you want people to purchase your work. However, the first thing is obey God, and whatever comes after that, I'm good with it. If you've obeyed God, you've published it, wrote it, published it, put it out there. Don't worry about the other stuff. Okay. So, one, clarify your vision. Number two, you need to organize your ideas or your thoughts by using an outline. Uh, the third thing, write consistently. It is so easy to be distracted. I see you over there. It's so easy to be distracted from life. I mean, yes, every single one of us are busy. I don't care if you're retired or not. Our lives are full. Okay, so but just remember what was started out by saying you got to put yourself first. If your work is going to be completed, you have to be consistent and intentional with your time. So these are some things that you can do. You can set a realistic writing schedule. If you know that Tuesday and Thursday, you got this, that, and other thing going on and your schedule's too tight, then make your time Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Set yourself a allotted time, whether you're going to write 500 words or whether you're just saying, I'm going to write 30 minutes these days. Make sure that you stick with that plan. Let me say this, and you probably already know this, I'm sure you do, that as soon as you decide that you are going to spend some time writing, you're going to, separate yourself, the phone is ringing, the dog is barking, people need something, this, that, all of that is a distraction. Something that's going to help you too to understand and know that what you got to say is valuable. What you got to say is imperative and it's time for it to be released. So set a realistic writing goal, create a distraction free space, whether it is on your back porch, whether you go to the park, whatever you need to do to create this space that you can write. Whether you go to your car on your lunch break for those 30 minutes or 1 hour and write there. So, turn your phone off, put your phone on do not disturb, leave your phone in the other room and you're not tempted. Because I know I'm the world's worst of thinking about, oh, I need to do this, I need to order that. And before you know it, you scrolling Amazon, now you on TikTok, you on YouTube videos. It was like, wait a minute, I was supposed to be writing, but now you've been distracted. So turn your phone on do not disturb, put it in another room, but make sure that you're staying consistent and make sure that you're staying intentional about your time. Give yourself a own time. If you know that you want to have this book written in 6 months, then you've got to intentionally set this time aside. Here we are right here at the fifth month already. It looks like it was just Thanksgiving. I mean, come on. These months and days and hours are flying by so fast. And we don't want another year to go by. We don't want another month to go by. And you talk about the book that you're supposed to be writing.
Right.
It's time to get it done. Okay. So now I have had some, when I was asking questions about what were some of the things that people were having an issue with. Maybe you did the writing, maybe it's finished, maybe you got your first draft, all of that. But people were then saying, well, I don't know how to market it. What am I going to do to market my book? Now, we know social media is free. It's free. But there are some things that you're going to have to do to make sure that people now know something's happening, something's coming. I know some people, well, I ain't on social media and I'm not doing all that. Well, I'm just telling you what works. You've got your own audience, people like your friends or whatever, they see you posting about this, that, and the other thing. I'm gonna give you some tips and strategies here to assist you in gaining an audience. For instance, say you're writing about being a midwife. Okay. Okay, let's talk being a midwife. You can start dropping quotes and nuggets, doing 5 minute lives, around your subject, that your audience, and be consistent with doing that. I'm going to tell you a little later about how AI can help you do that. Being consistent, because now people are familiar with, okay, this is the lady that's talking about midwifery, or what, however you pronounce it, being a midwife, or whatever the circumstance or situation, whether it's encouraging people or whatever you're doing. And they'll begin to start looking for that. The social media is kind of funny with their algorithm, because you can be friends with 2,000 people, but if you're not engaging with those people on their page, like, liking their posts, commenting on their posts or whatever, you may not ever see, you see the same three or four or five people. I don't know if anybody's noticed that. You friends with all these other people, but why are you only seeing these three or four or five people? It's because you're not engaging on those pages and they're not engaging on yours. So what you're doing is you're seeing just the same people over and over again. So writing the book is just the beginning. Okay, so now we want to talk about, launching it, marketing it, and what are we going to do? So I want to just tell you a few things, not everything, because I want to make sure we stay within an hour. But one thing you can do is you can create a freebie. It can be a one page, two-page ebook. And what that does is you are now capturing email addresses. So if somebody downloads whatever your freebie is, which is easy to create, I'm going to tell you how to do that too, then you are capturing their email addresses. So, and then you can keep engaging with them. And when the time comes, when your book is about to be birthed, then you can send the cover of your book, hey, great news. Now you're creating your email list. At some point or another, social media made the Facebook, threads, all these things may go away. But what won't go away is your email address list that you've created. So to in preparation for your launch, you need to set a date. Okay, one thing I want to warn you about is say you know that you want your book to be done by your birthday. Your birthday is December 31st. So in March, you're saying, hey, my book's going to be released December 31st. I want to caution you on that. First of all, you're not finished with it. Secondly, you need to make sure that after you've done it, say your book is done, you've looked over it, covers created, whoever you get to publish it or whatever has done all of that. But printing runs into a snag. If you use Amazon, for instance, or whoever, snow is up north. That's where the books are coming from. But you've already set this hard deadline. I always caution people, make sure you got your books in your hand before you set a hard date for a book signing. One thing you don't want to do is to be have a date for a book signing and you don't have no books. I've had that happen to somebody. Not because of me, because they came with me with this very ridiculously short time frame, like a few weeks, and said, "Well, I already rented the venue," and I'm like, "I'm so sorry, I can't help you." Because first of all, that would be my name. I don't know what happened to the other person, but anyway, so don't do that. It's better to have your books in hand and then you can create your time. Okay, so you want to set a date. You can offer pre-bonus, pre-orders. You can go live on Instagram, Facebook during your launch week. Um, you can create reels and all of this stuff. So you may be thinking, okay, like I just said, I'm not all into social media like that. But in order to create this organic interest into your topic, whether it is, how to do this, whether it is a a spiritual thing, whatever your book is about. I mean, this is your book, baby. It's between you and God. But you need to allow people to be able to now see, oh, that's an interesting subject and engage with you more. And when people are engaging with you or commenting, you need to comment back. That's how the algorithm is going to grow. That's then how they are now going to keep seeing you pop up on their feed. Okay, so a social media planner for your book is a game changer because of engagement. Okay, it's gonna organize your content, it builds anticipation because people are like, oh, this look like a book. Because I've seen people do that. They'll start giving you little pieces, little quotes, and then hashtag whatever the book name is. They haven't said that's what the book name is, but you're seeing these hashtags that's in the body of their post. So it's creating an interest, it's building anticipation, and I'm looking for, okay, what's next? what's next, and then bam, it's like they're introducing, do a live, hey, look guys, I did this book. People are now are looking for that. Okay, so you need to consistency is key to visibility. You can't post on Monday and we don't see you no more for 3 weeks. That's not being consistent. Okay. So posting regularly is going to keep your audience engaged. The algorithms favor consistency, engagement. Okay. So you gonna create a social media planner or plan, and it's gonna help you to avoid last minute scramblings. Say if you're gonna do a 30-day launch, then I'm gonna tell you in a few minutes about how you can create all of your 30 days worth of stuff. All of this it does take time, but there is a way to help you to make sure that it's a smooth process and not chaotic. Okay, so you're going to break your content down into teasers or reveals, sneak peeks, sneak peek your cover, um, sneak peek a paragraph, or put that content into your posts. You can use polls, question and answers. For instance, how many of you have ever had a heart attack? I'm just using just you may get some people that say, or how many of you have ever had breast cancer? And you'll get all kind of people, hey, that was me, that was me, that was me. Whether you're writing or saying about the process of finding out, the process of going through to the doctors or this or that, the other thing, you're now building engagement because they can identify with what your subject matter is. Okay, so you can create shareable moments. But those are just a few reasons about why you need a social media plan. Um, you can actually have, then you've got all these platforms. There are a lot of platforms, so don't freak yourself out about trying to do all of them. Okay, you got Facebook, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn. I mean, get you one or two where you figure out that this is where your people are, because you may, they say Facebook is kind of for some seasoned people more so than, the other folks. I have found it took me a minute to jump over to Threads. But once I did, and actually all I was doing was copying and pasting what I did on Facebook over on Threads. But I got these other organic people I had never engaged with, didn't ever know were over there. So, you can't be locked in to thinking your people are in one place. Your people may be somewhere else. So remember that. Don't get stuck in your mind that you need to be just, over here on Facebook or whatever you used to. So, what you're going to do, you can create a 30-day media blitz. Okay. I don't know how many of you use or have ever used Chat GPT. Anybody? Raise a hand.
I'm familiar with it.
No. You're familiar with it.
Mhm.
Okay. Let me tell you something. This is going to be a game changer for you once it comes to, say you've written your book, right? Now you need a strategy. You want to engage with your audience, prepare them for what's coming. So you can type into, I'm just going to use a generic statement, into Chat GPT. I'm just going to use the title of the book, How I Grew My Garden in 3 months. Just use that for example. I may put into Chat GPT and say, create me a 30-day social media pre launch strategy for my book, blah, 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 blah. Using Reels, Facebook posts, because you have to be kind of specific with your information. But what you'll get is a whole 30, it'll do a week by week. It'll tell you week one, do this. Week two, do that. Week three, do this. So, for instance, I have this sheet here, and it's somewhere you'll see it a little later. But week one is gonna be building anticipation. Now, it breaks it down like that for you, probably in about 30 seconds. When I say we're working smarter this season and not harder, let there be no excuses that you don't have the time. When this tool can assist you in making sure that you did the hard bark, you got the book written. Now we need something else. Okay. So week two, it'll tell you how to engage your audience. So week one, it says announce your book title, share your writing journey, why you wrote ABC, tease the book cover. These are all ideas. Not saying you have to do them all, but it certainly is going to give you some specific information that you can do, even down to week four. It'll say 1 week until so and so, how I grew my garden in 3 months, launches. Who's excited? All of those things to bring about clarity and engagement. Okay, you can do and create. Okay, so now you got your 30 days worth of content, right? You ask Chat GPT to create you 30 days of pre-launch strategy for blah, 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 blah. And it's giving it to you. Number two, the thing you can do is go into Canva. Canva has a planner. So you can actually go into Canva. You can have, you've got all this stuff where you can create free. I'm not saying that you have to do the purchased. You can use the free. Well, I'm not sure exactly if you have to have the purchased one, but it is just, I forgot how much it is a month. I'm sorry. I forgot. I wrote that somewhere. But they've got a scheduler. Canva has a scheduler. So you can actually go in and create your whole 30-day. If you're going to use Canva for all the make little social media flyers or whatever it is, and schedule them before time. So, there's no excuse for saying, "Oh, I couldn't do it today," or "I couldn't post, 4 or 5 days in a row because I had the flu, I was feeling bad," because you've already gotten your information, you've gone into Canva, and you have scheduled all of your stuff you're going to do. You can create a step-by-step guide, scheduling 30 days of content using Canva's content planner. Okay. What I just said to you, step-by-step guide, scheduling 30 days of content using Canva's content planner for whatever your book title is. I put that in the chat GPT too. It broke it down what your 30-day content strategy is going to look like. You're going to have promotional posts, engaging posts, educational posts, and it gives a breakout of to how to create it. Okay, so now moving on to the next thing. Who has ever written an ebook? Okay, see
Has
one
ever
hand.
has done what?
Written an ebook, electronic
Oh,
version of a book. Okay, every person has at least one thing that they can write an ebook about. It does not have to be, whether you're sharing knowledge, building credibility. Your ebook can do that. It doesn't have to be 25 pages, 50 pages, none of that. I've done ebooks for people as few as 3 pages. You're giving information. Okay. And every single one of us has at least one specific thing that is a unique experience, whether it's poetry, whatever. You can use that. So it's creating an ebook is one of the most effective ways to share your knowledge, build credibility, and it can generate income. So whether you're an expert in a particular field, like I said, you have a unique life experience, or you just love to write, whatever it is, your ebook can share expertise, build authority, generate passive income, expand your reach. It's affordable and accessible. You don't need, you can do that tonight after you finish here with yourself. It's basically a PDF file. Okay. And so you may be thinking, well, how am I going to, if I create an ebook? Because, everybody may not, be doing a novel or a 75, 100, 150-page book. You may have a specific area about how to, um, navigate seasons of transition from toddler to you know, adolescent to whatever don't discount the God-given grace that he's given you for a specific area. Don't compare your journey, your writing journey, to anyone else's. You may look at somebody else, oh, that's amazing, but you have something that is of value that other people will love if you would write it down. Sister Linda, you may be able to say something about how do you get this blood out these veins. I don't know if you something you can write down, but anyway, what I'm saying is every single one of us has at least one thing, and you probably have more than one thing. Whether it's a green thumb, how you keep your plants alive. I would buy one today if I could have somebody to tell me how to keep my plants alive that I just keep killing. So what I'm saying is don't discount any of your life experiences of the things of value that you take for granted that somebody else would love if you have already done the work. I just need to purchase it.
Hmm, that's good.
Okay. So everybody should have at least one. So I want to see y'all. Okay. And that's the other thing. Canva, you can create your ebook in Canva. Canva has all kinds of templates. And I mean, all kinds of templates. Well, all you've got to do is go in there and change the words. You can move pictures, change pictures, or whatever. We're thinking, working smarter and not harder. Writing does not have to be overwhelming. So that's why I'm here this evening to try to shift your mindset as to it doesn't have to be difficult. Sometimes because we're unfamiliar with some of the processes or the tools or the strategy, that's what makes it overwhelming because it's like, well, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? How am I gonna do the other thing? Or whatever. So we talked about, building your audience. We talked about um having clarity, okay, regarding your book, clarity about who you're talking to and all of that. So this is something else. Like I just mentioned about some things you do for Chat GPT. This is another thing that you can do to assist yourself in writing your book. Having writing a book, you got all your tasks, you got numerous tasks, but like I said, Chat GPT can help you to navigate all of those tasks. I'm telling you this: do not use Chat GPT to write your book. I'm not saying use Chat GPT to write your book. What I'm saying is there is a way to use it that will assist you with your marketing, that will assist you with even maybe you got a strange sentence or you don't know how to clarify it. And you may want to say, well, how can I reword this or something? But, don't be, because what you're going to do is if you copyright or if you attempt to copyright because some people have used Chat or a GPT or some other AI software to create their book cover. And when it was time to have it copyrighted, they would not because it recognizes that it is a AI generated cover. Okay, so don't get yourself all caught up with that. Remember, you are an original. God gave you original ideas, so we're not gonna be lazy about what we're doing just because there are tools. You can use the tools to assist you with certain things, but not do the thing. Okay. So you can create, Chat GPT can create you a marketing plan. It can actually create you social media content like for captions and hashtags, based upon, say you have you insert, copy and paste maybe a page of your book. It can go through there and suggest maybe hashtags or whatever to use when you're posting. Um, the next thing, if you used a ebook or whatever to capture emails from people, you can draft email sequences. One thing I did as an example to show you what I'm talking about, the email sequences. Did everybody see their emails that went out about the I Write webinar? Chat GPT did those emails.
Hmm.
Okay. So I went in and I said, hey, I need, I don't know, maybe I did 7 days, 7 days of email sequences for my I Write registrants. And I included the Zoom link once I had it. Include the Zoom link. I want them to be excited, whatever else I said in there. So, and then I went through, I changed a few things. But basically, like I said, we're working smarter and not harder. It created, though, I wasn't puzzling my brain about when I should be trying to tighten up or finish up my book. So that's just a FYI. If you have a web page, when it comes time before you're launching or announcing your book and you want to email or you want to send text messages even out to all of your family, your friends, your whoever, then this is something that you can take. Yes, ma'am. Oh, absolutely, Miss Normandy. Honey, yes, it is a game changer. It frees up your time. Like I said, now we're not going to be lazy about, writing or doing what God said for us. But these other things where we don't have, say, a secretary or we don't have a assistant or something, it can, assist you with that. So you can create your content plan, your marketing schedule, or whatever. Okay, the next thing is for some of you who actually, and I'm thinking about you, Apostle Lyria, when I'm talking about audio. Okay, so you have a recording, whether you taught a class, or this could be for any of you, whether you've taught a class, you recorded it, right? And people later were like, wow, I missed it. I really wish I had those notes. Or you think to yourself, wow, that really would be a great little ebook, or that would really be a great book, whatever the subject matter was, whether you're teaching, training, or whatever. So now you don't have to repeat it. You got it, whether it's electronically or something you choose to make as a book. There are transcription tools that are free and that are paid that you can use to upload those documents or your audio, okay, that you can use to upload them in there that will say transcribe it. Because sometimes it's not about, you just don't have time to go back to your recording and sit down and type out all these notes. Time is of the essence, right? And that whole process can be overwhelming as well. So there are I'll give you a couple, but there's like Otter
So,
AI. There's a
so
free
Prophet,
plan. Yes, ma'am.
you're saying that on the Facebook Live, there's a um tool that I can use to upload that to print what I've posted out
Well,
there.
now if you download that from your page, because now remember too, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know when they cut it off. I think it's June or July, but I believe Facebook is saying that after June, July,
They've
whatever
already
this
started
time.
deleting stuff.
Okay, already start
Mm-hmm.
deleting. Okay, so after 30 days,
Mm-hmm.
they're deleting these lives. So
Yes.
you need to make sure that you are downloading and saving this, whether you get you an external hard drive or something or the other to keep
Okay.
it so you don't lose that.
Yeah.
Because for some of us who've been going back, I mean, doing stuff for years and years and years, that's a big loss, especially when now we can, as things are coming along, we know that we can capture those audios, upload it into a transcription tool, and now we get it in written form. Um, make sure that you're downloading that somewhere. Now, I'm not sure now, like I said, Otter AI there's a free plan. It's OTTER.ai. And it has some of them will have by the minute. I don't know. The free probably only goes up to some. You probably gonna have to, how they get you. They may give you a time or two that you can use it, but then charge. So I'm not sure what all of those are. But another one is for Zoom is I think it's called rev.com, rev.com, and it provides captions for Zoom meetings at no cost. Zoom also has, not like I said, I'm not sure how all of you all are, if you're doing lives or if you're recording something or something's been recorded at church or whatever, but there are transcription tools out there that will help you. Google Docs for typing, voice typing is something else. Have you ever felt like if I could just talk this book out,
Mm-hmm.
Google Voice will do that. It has a built-in voice to text tool. So that's another option. You're tired of typing. Now, I am when I say of old school, I am really of old school because I always like to write my stuff with a pen and paper first. I love ebooks because if you're traveling and you got your Kindle or whatever, you can read that way and you can have 25 books on your little thing. However, I love paperback books. I want to dog in, put sticky notes in them, circle and highlight and all that kind of stuff. So I just like to write.
Me too.
So I'm not just gonna start typing on my computer when I'm writing a book. I'm gonna write it in my notebook and then I'm gonna type it. So that's just me. Everybody's different. But those are yes, journals. That's how I knew. And who is this? So I want to make sure I've got Zoom user on here. What's your name? So I make sure that you get those bonuses as well, but I don't see your name. What is it? Tierra. Okay. Yes, ma'am. I got you. I'm just asking because I want to make sure that you get the email. And I got a highlighter and not a pen. You are welcome. You're welcome. Because everybody else that didn't show up in person is not going to get them. So, all right. So, and then there are paid transcriptions. Those couple that I mentioned have a free version, and they also have a paid version. So if I were you, this is just something, a tool out there that you may not have been aware of. If you have something that you want to test out, then you can use those couple to see, using the free version so you can kind of see how it works before you commit yourself to any of the other things. So I'm going to pause right there and take any questions. If you guys have any questions before I give you my next surprise. Okay, anybody got a question?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I don't really per se have a question. Well, maybe it is a question, but I too am like you. I have written everything down. I have writings from like 1990s and all of that, and everything's in a box. Uh, so I guess I'm overwhelmed actually looking at the box, trying to put all I have a format for how I want the book to be and how I want the chapters to run. And I know that in those writings are the stories that will go with the way I want it to be set up, but I just can't put it down. Do that make sense?
Yes, it does. But the thing about it is you're gonna have to get it down. I got you though about having so many. I didn't before I knew I was a writer publisher, I was writing. Like I've got a little what do they used to call them when we were little kids? Oh gosh, they had a little key, little notebook you could write your diary. Yeah, I think my mom gave me my first diary probably when I was like 8 or 9, and I still have it. So I have been writing my whole life, journals, writing thoughts, writing. Sometimes God is, you don't know what He's doing until you're a little older, a little later, that you were created to do a thing. So, like you said, Terry, you got boxes and boxes of writing everything. So the thing is, you're gonna have to get it organized some kind of way. And the thing is, I always, like I said, I am a a believer. So absolutely would pray about how God wants you to um, focus in on getting it organized. And he will absolutely help you. Because, if it's something that he has ordained to be in the earth for a reason and a purpose and a specific time, he will absolutely give you what you need, how you need it, when to do it. And the thing I'd say is don't get caught up on how it looks when you're doing it. Your process is not the same as everybody else. It's going to be how he chooses to work that through you. But like I said, when you're talking about writing and setting aside time to make sure that you are writing, you need to make sure set that time aside to spend organizing it so that the story can be told. I say this all the time. We don't want to leave Earth because we know time is limited. Okay. That's just real. Our time is limited. We don't want to leave the earth full and not empty. Everything that God has assigned for our lives to do, to be, I want to leave empty. I don't want anything left when I go to the grave in me that was supposed to be out. And sometimes that is it's trying, sometimes it is challenging. Let me put it that. Sometimes it's a challenge, but that's part of our process. um so he is going to help you. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Yep.
Apostle, my husband he just said, I put it in the chat too. He said, be obedient and write and finish the book. And one thing that I've learned, I do like a lot of different trainings, and because we have to be equipped for every assignment. And the thing for me is like you get so much and you get something from everybody who's teaching you, because there are certain things that you're going to get and certain things someone else is going to release to you. And I'm so glad that you did this. I was like, oh Lord, I was on at 7 o'clock my time. And I was like early. And so I was like, it's one of those things that you have to know and understand what your assignment is. And like you were saying, Apostle, was just start. And I think that was the basis even for me, was just to start and just write. And for me, I don't know if you have experienced this, Apostle, is like whenever I was writing my book about mental health, like God was releasing healing in the process of every step, from writing it years ago, from looking at it and rewriting it again, to typing it up and and publishing in a book. There is healing in
Mhm.
every step and everything that you do. So yes, and when you, like you said, you want to leave your legacy, and it's really your story is for somebody else too, because something that you have experienced is something else that someone else is going through. So whenever you have those times for release, that release is also for yourself. That healing happens. Somebody said, had even shared that sometimes it's not good to pick it back up. It is good to pick it back up because that's when the true healing happens. And even when I was writing, it's really a healing. I was sobbing and the tears were coming out. There was something that was different about that release opposed to when I was writing it the first time. So you have to finish what God has given you. Even if you're doing bits and pieces of it, it is a release for healing.
Absolutely. That is an absolute great point. That's true. Because you may be, whether you started something 5 years, 10 years ago, and you're thinking, oh, I'm behind, I'm behind, I'm behind. Mm-mm-mm. Not necessarily. God's timing is perfect. And what you may think is out of time, and no, it's a process of time, especially when you're discussing heartache and heartbreak and heal, things that you went through where you were broken, God had to heal you, and then when you thought you was healed, you wasn't, and you had to sit on it some more or go back. I've had a couple of clients where they said, "Oh, I'm ready." I was like, "Okay, send it to me. Let me see what you've got." Take a look at it, and I said, "Hey, um, no, ma'am, you're not ready." And even one of them now, she laughs about it because eventually her book was done and finished and all that. She said, "Well, honey, let me tell you something. When you told me that 3 years ago, I was mad at you because I was like, how can she tell me A, B, C, and D?" She said, "But you was right." I said, "I know." So sometimes we have to make sure that we're in God's timing. I say something and I think I may because it came up a week or so ago and I wrote it down. And y'all can let me know if this is something you need. It's called healed writing. We don't want to, when you are talking about some emotional things or processes or things you've gone through, divorce, break, all kinds of whatever things were. Um, it has to be when your reader reads your story, you do not need to write, oh, Jack did this and Jack did that, and I hate Jack and Jack, as if Jack was the issue and the problem. No, if I read your book, I don't want to leave emotionally exhausted from the reading of it. I want this to be a journey of healing. Yes, this is what happened. This is what I did. This is what Jack did. This was how it told me up, broke me up. But God, there's got to be a but God in there. you know, did this. This is how he healed me. This is how, because there needs to be a story of redemption and hope and purpose. So that is what you get by working with in due season. So some people just want to tell a story and tell about how that was done wrong, singing a song. And I'm like, no, we need to come back later. And someone who's truly ready for that will accept that and know that there's God is still, and it's not to say that it will never be done, but allow him to complete the process. Because let me say this, your words will be out there forever, right? So why are you talking about Jack and Johnny and your sister and whoever else that did all this and messed you up and you put it out there like that, but then you talk about you want to be reconciled, but you didn't blasted them all over creation. So how you think that's gonna work out? Okay, that's just my extra. Okay, so anybody else have anything they want to add or ask? Because it's 7:54. I want to respect your time. Okay. Well, let me give you my surprise. And it's good to see you, Miss Elder.
Hello.
Hello. How are you? I'm glad you were able
Good.
to hop on.
Yes, it's a blessing. I'm sorry I'm
Yeah.
late.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I told them earlier that there are, let me remind y'all, let me see where I wrote it. Um, there are going to be 4 other bonuses that you guys will get via email. You're going to get decrees for authors. You're going to get an I Write webinar worksheet. You're going to get a book outline that's in a Word document. So you can actually go in and type your outline in there. It's already done. And you're going to get, it's a little ebook that says 7 prayers for your writing journey. So you'll get all of that. And once the replay is done replaying, so it may be tomorrow that I'll send you the replay for the Zoom link. So I'll send that to you. But I want to announce, somebody drum roll, the release of, you can't see that. How does it look? Oh my, look at that. You can't even see it. Anyway, there it is, kind of. It's in the email I sent y'all, but it said it's the I Write Pre-Publishing Planner. This is the 2nd edition. So, and it is about, there are maybe 25 pages, blank pages for notes. Thank you. Appreciate it. But let me tell you what's in it. You got your ISBN and copyright information guide. So you got the email address and all of this stuff as to where you can do your own copyright, because you can do it. There is the ChatGPT information that some of it, I didn't tell y'all everything this class, but the other stuff is in this book. Okay. It's got launch reminders. It's got creating and selling your own book using, and we didn't mention this, but it's in here, creating, selling your own ebook on using PayHip. Anybody, you guys heard of PayHip? It's in here. It's easy. It's easy to set up. So for instance, you create your ebook, right? Say it's 3-5 pages. You can go in, create you a PayHip account and upload your ebook there. Create it, it'll create a little link. So just like I don't know if any of you saw my book Heart Check Challenge. I use PayHip. So you can put it in the email, you can use it in a text message, whatever place. People click the link, take them right to the place where they can download your ebook. Simple. $2.99, $5.99, whatever you choose to write it as. Charge. You got a social media planners in here, step-by-step guide. You got your social media marketing worksheets. Did you do this is in here as a checklist about rewriting your book, getting feedback. Let me say this right here. Very serious about this. Do not use no selfies for your picture on the back of your book. I don't want to see nobody using no selfies no more. I'm just telling you. You've invested all this time and this effort. Do not use no selfie. Invest in a makeup artist and invest in somebody doing, even if you're just doing headshots. I don't see no selfies on the back of y'all books. There's no excuse for that. Let me tell you this quick story. I decided, because I feel like I do makeup pretty good. I do it okay. All right. You didn't heard this before. I see you over there laughing. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get me some professional pictures, nah, and I'm gonna do my own makeup. It looked pretty good just walking around, standing in, and I was flabbergasted when my photographer was looking through his camera. He said, "Hey," I said, "He said, who did your makeup?" time I tell this story, it is hilarious to me. I said, I got you. I see what you're not saying. Because your walk around makeup, your walk around face is not gonna be good for no professional pictures. That's a whole nother level. Okay. So don't do that. Don't do what I did. I see your hand, but just a second, let me finish. It's got a project checklist in here about helping you to stay on track. It's got author affirmations. It's got a worksheets in here about overcoming self-doubt. There is just a lot. So the book in total is like 190 pages. But I'm going to put a link in your email too, because I'm making the ebook version available to you for just $19.99, because you can print off what you need when you need it. So, Cynthia, yes, ma'am, I see your hand.
Um, Now, with your services, do you assist with editing?
Absolutely, I do.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's not included in this information here on I'm looking at where you have the your consultation and your books and everything, but I don't see the information about the editing services or anything. Is that on your website or something else?
It's not, and the reason I do not put it on my website is because every project is different. Everybody's project is not the same. Everybody's level of writing is not the same. So one person may require a lot of editorial assistance and someone else may not. So that's why I don't give a cookie cutter price as to editing a book. I get a consultation. We kind of discuss what your book's about. You'd email me over your Word file for me to look at it. And then I will tell you it'll cost you this, and it's going to include, it's always going to include your ISBN number. It's going to include your front and back cover. It's going to include your copyright registration. It's going to include editing. Yeah. And it's going to include it uploading it to Amazon. Typically, everybody wants their work on Amazon. One thing about Amazon, let me tell you guys something about that regarding Amazon. Amazon is a great platform to use. The author copies for your book are substantially cheaper than, say I help you set it up as a new author, right? But you're charging $19.99 for your book. But you, as the author, would only pay maybe $3.99, $4.99, and I'm just giving you a ballpark. But you can see there's a big difference. However, what I like to make sure people understand is if you just use Amazon, Amazon pays like 60 days in arrears. So if I just see your book on Amazon and say, I'm like, hey, I ordered your book January 1st. You're probably not going to see the recouping of that for like 60 days after the fact. So what we can do is we do a pre-order, and this is a little extra, but we can set up something where people pre-order your book, right? But you take the funds from the pre-ordering of your book. They're still paying the $19.99 plus say $5 shipping and handling. And you can use those funds to order your books. They're pre-ordering, but you as the author pay say $5, $6 per book, but you use those funds. So you're not coming out of pocket initially. That's a way to do that. And the other thing is when you have them pre-order the book. Now, the other thing about that is you'll need to order the books because you're the ones that will be fulfilling the order because they ordered from you and not from Amazon. Amazon will send the book. But if you're doing it, say you want all of the email, and that's not to say that you don't have it on Amazon too, but what you will be putting out there for people to see is this link for them to order from you. Because you'll get more of the royalties for Amazon's like 60%. So you'll get more of your money back.
Okay.
Okay. So that's another thing. Okay. Is there another question before we wrap it up? Miss Sabrina, I do not have you on my list. I don't think. Did you just sign up before on today? You're welcome.
I signed up weeks ago.
Okay. I'm looking through here. What was your name when you used the link? I'm trying to make sure that you get the email of all the bonuses that I said. So that's why I'm asking you.
What are you asking me? How did I sign up?
Right. What was your name?
Sabrina Cottle.
Okay. I've got on here Sandra Cottle. Sandra?
No, man. Sabrina.
So is it SANDC Cottle 3?
Oh, that's my email address, SandCCottle3.
Okay, so that's
Got
what I'm talking
you.
about.
Oh, no,
Okay,
it's Sabrina.
okay. All right. Well, that's what was confusing because I call myself being meticulous about going through here. I just wanted to make sure that I make sure that everyone gets what I just said. So if by tomorrow evening, and I hope to try to do it. Sometimes it takes the Zoom a little while to download, but by tomorrow I'm going to send you all of what I just said. It will include the ebook version of what I just showed you, my new book that's released. Now I will probably post later on about the paperback because I do know there are some people who like to scribble and write all over everything, like I do. You know what, Apostle Larry, I'll bring you one Sunday.
Okay.
Okay. But some people are okay with just the ebook version. But I want to put that in there for you. Listen, I am so grateful and thankful that you have taken this time to invest in yourself. I pray that you got some information that you didn't know.
A lot.
Good. To help make your journey a little easier. If you need further help, further assistance, my webpage is induseasonpublishing.com. My email address is induseasonpublishing@gmail.com. And you can contact me there. So if that is all, I do pray that you have an amazing evening. Happy writing to you. And I want to pray over you. Father, I thank you. That's fine. That's fine, Sandra. You'll still get the same stuff. Father, I thank you for tonight. I thank you for this, your people, your chosen vessels, who you've given the pens of ready writers, God. I thank you that even now, that every obstacle, every distraction, every vice, every force that has come against them in the past to keep them from moving forward in their writing process, that has kept them discouraged and disgruntled, Father, is being broken off of their lives now in the name of Jesus. Father, I thank you now for open heaven over their lives. I thank you, Father, that the words that they write now will flow freely without distraction, without any encumbrances upon their life, Father. May the words that you have given them to speak to your people, may they come alive. Father, I pray that in due season, what that you have put on the inside of them will be released to the people that you have assigned to their life, those who have ears to hear and eyes to see. Father, I pray that you would allow them to see and to understand that what you have given them is of great value and necessary for the body of Christ and for the people that you have called them to release their works to. Father, I pray a blessing over them now. I pray that everything that they put their hands to shall be blessed. I thank you now, Father God, that as they go to sleep tonight, that even for those things that have been locked up in the heavens, the things that they did not quite have the understanding or the ability to hear and to comprehend, will be released unto them in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, y'all. Y'all have a
Thank you
Amen.
great
so
day.
much.
Amen.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you so
Yes,
much. This was
ma'am.
great.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it. And be looking for something else. I may do another something called Healed Right, and we'll just see what guys say about that.
Yes,
Y'all have a
ma'am.
good night.
Thank you.
Good
Good night,
night.
everyone.
Bye-bye.